I think the word gender, I mean, you described it before as something you're born with.
Yeah.
I think that fits squarely and firmly into that idea of word evolution. Because, and this little thought I had the other day, and I'm really keen to investigate this. Like, I'm not talking about now, but like over the forthcoming weeks, months, and maybe even years, about what gender is. Because until very recently, and second wave feminism, which you may not be a fan of, and feminism in general, we'll talk about gender as a social construct.
Yeah.
Now,
Actually,
gender.
as soon as you said that, I went, "Oh, actually, gender
hang
is
on.
a social
But
construct."
this is the point. But this is the point, and this is the point that we made to these academics the other day. It's like, hang on, how do we work this out now? This evolution of language, because if gender is a social construct, that means by definition it's put on us. So therefore, we can't be born with it. So if we can't be born with gender, and it's a social construct.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Because that's the whole, I'm going to give you a truck because you're a boy, and you're going to wear pink because you're a girl. Now, we're not born with that. So what is gender today? And if we're born with it, it's not a social construct. If it's a social construct, we're not born with it. What is it?
And that's also at the core of why second wavers and stuff struggle so much with it, is exactly the reason that you've said.
Yeah.
Because I believe that gender is a social construct, and I also believe that you're born with gender, and to me,
how can it be both?
Yeah, to me, that they can be, because to me, gender isn't binary and it's fluid. And
do you agree with the kind of 71 Facebook says there's 71 different kinds of genders?
Yeah, I believe
spirit, that. Two-spirit.
Yeah, I believe that they're
stuff.
different names for very similar things.
Right.
So to me, I think that whether you are gender fluid or gender queer or anything like that is innate. And that's what I mean when you're about being born with it.
So does that therefore mean I'm talking about the evolution of language? Does that therefore mean the whole born with gender may actually, as we move through society, that word may change, that definition may change?
Yeah.
Because to me it seems that you can't be both. Now that doesn't mean that I disagree with what you're saying. My comeback is maybe we're not using the right language yet. Yeah,
and I agree with that, definitely. Because I think, the one of the things that's often said about by people, transphobic people or trans exclusionary feminists or whatever they want to call themselves, it's this idea that by saying gender is something you're born with or anything like that, you're somehow saying that gender isn't a social construct. And to them, that is something that you can't say, because by doing so, that means that if you're a butch woman, that means that trans people are trying to make you trans because of the way you dress or whatever, and they're saying, no, I'm a woman, but I'm just a butch woman, and blah blah blah. And what they don't understand is trans people, genderqueer people, are pioneers of the belief that you express your gender in any way that you want. That's their thing, that we are very lucky to have been gifted by the trans community, is the idea that how you dress, what you do, what you look like is not tied to your gender. They are the ones that gifted us with that kōrero, and so when we say gender is a social construct, we're talking about gender norms, like the idea that, as a man, you have to play with trucks
and have a sweet beard.
Yeah, you have to have a beard.
A sweet beard.
Or actually, a sweet beard. But also it's the idea there of how there's, I don't know if it's like a thing, but if you, shaming if you can't grow a beard, is that a thing for young men?
Probably in your teens and early 20s if you can't get a proper...
One of my best mate, Chris, he doesn't mind I say this because he openly admits that he's been trying to grow a beard for years and it's still very patchy after a couple of years of growth, and he jokes about it, but I guarantee that there's an element of actual physical proper shame to it. Not much.
I think as a proper
hyper masculine.
Well, I think as a proper adult, there's not. I think if you're a 35-year-old or 40-year-old man, because whether you shave or don't, that's one thing. But when you're a teenager and the guys around you, like I started late. Like this for me is like 18 months growth. Yeah. Like for most people, 18 months growth would be down here.
Yeah.
I think, but if you're a 19-year-old and you're not shaving sort of thing, there would be shame in it then.
Yeah,
if you're a 40-year-old, not so much, because who knows if you shave or not, because you typically...
I guess it's more just, my point is like, what I was trying to get at is around facial hair being an indicator of your masculinity. Gender as a social construct is, to put it very simply, is about saying you don't have to have a beard to be a man in a way. Like it's.
Yeah.
And
I would
also,
disagree with that. I mean, come on.
If you have, well, actually, a much better example is if you are a woman with facial hair, you're not less of a woman.
Correct.
Because gender is a social construct.
And I mean, you could
Did
even.
I do it?
Yeah.